Hi there, friends! Welcome to today's episode of r/Mind the Asshole. Make sure to share your thoughts and opinions on the stories in the comments below, as I would love to hear what you guys think too, and let's get right into it. Our first story comes from user glad_cause9000, who asks, am I the asshole for not wanting to cut my hair? I have really long hair that goes down to my back. It's about 2 feet of hair. It's always been a strong point of pride for me because I spend a good chunk of money maintaining and caring for my hair. My boyfriend has always been pushing for me to cut it, but recently he's been even more insistent. He handles all of the grittier cleaning in our home since I can't really handle dust. He does sweeping, wiping down and vacuuming. I handle cooking and cleaning that doesn't make me interact with dust, like dishes, laundry, and some of the trash cans. But because of that, he complains a lot that he has to spend a lot of time cleaning up my hair shedding. He says it makes cleaning take way longer than it has to. He says that even though he's responsible for cleaning, I should be responsible with my hair, and if it sheds this much, then I should just consider cutting it. But he doesn't want me to go shorter by like an inch or two. He wants me to cut up half? Are you kidding? So it goes down to just behind my shoulders. I'm unwilling to part with that much, but he insists that I should. But I really would rather not cut my hair. My nieces have also both recently started learning how to braid hair, and it's been really fun bonding with them through braiding our hair too. I think cleaning up my hair is really just a part of the housework along with his hair shedding too. I don't see a need for me to cut it. Jeez, now I have to say I think Opie's not the butthole. I've had both long hair and short hair, and either way I still shed. My dog is the same whether he has long or short hair. I still need to hoover the carpet and the couch daily. Our hair length doesn't influence this at all. I think Opie's boyfriend is just trying to get out of doing some of his chores because this seems a little extreme. I have to clean my hair out of the shower drain every so often because my long hair clogs it, but I still do it frequently and it only takes up like 5 minutes of my day. It's really not that bad. So I personally would vote not the asshole on this one. What do you guys think? Our next story comes from user GrouchyNecessary356, who asks, am I the asshole for cancelling a trip with my boyfriend because my friend needed me? My boyfriend, 27M, and I, 26 female, have been together for 4 years in total. We dated for 3 years, broke off for a couple months, and then got back together. Since we got back together, he's been very needy and insisting that we should spend more time together, which is nice, but I sometimes feel like he's a bit pushy, honestly. He doesn't like it at all when I go out with my friends, or insists to come too every time. So the issue is that he had a work trip to Boston last week. It really was just a meeting on Saturday with some people from the company. He asked me if I wanted to go too, and we could spend the weekend there as a little getaway, probably. I said yes and was excited for the trip. However, my best friend, 26 male, got into a car accident the Wednesday before the trip. It wasn't that bad, but he broke an arm and was generally bruised and in a bad shape emotionally. So I told my boyfriend I won't be able to go to the trip since I wanted to be there for my friend. He got very angry, and he told me he's fine and doesn't really need me there. I told him that he does, and the trip really wasn't anything special, just a work trip. He was upset, so he said a lot of things, like saying if I just want to continue being single, then I shouldn't have agreed to get back with him, and such. We argued very bad that night, honestly. The next couple of days he tried changing my mind, but he couldn't let it go. However, since he came back, he's been acting very cold toward me and practically ignoring me when I ask him about the trip. He just tells me it was fine, or you would know if you'd come too. I'm very annoyed with him. I feel like he doesn't want to understand my side, but am I the asshole? Now I think a commenter actually perfectly summed up my thoughts on this post. User CapFriendly5546 says, you're the asshole. It sounds like your boyfriend is trying to strengthen your relationship after being apart. It's okay to communicate with him that you need time alone, but you also need to realize that he might be a bit insecure at that moment. It sounds like you just didn't try to discuss with him that you would stay behind. You just decided. It didn't even cross your mind to ask his opinion. He could have been planning a surprise for you on that trip, or really looking forward to reconnecting away from everyday life, and instead of trying to understand why he's upset, you've brushed him off and acted like he's unreasonable. And to top it all off, the reason that you cancelled on him was to, quote, look after a friend that wasn't too badly hurt, and I'm assuming has family and other friends who could have looked out for his emotional needs. You treated your friend more like your partner than your own boyfriend. And I do agree with this. I've been in a car accident before, and there wasn't anything too major. I just ended up with a bit of whiplash and vertigo and stuff. While it was really nice to have support from my family and my boyfriend and stuff, honestly, I wouldn't have wanted anyone to cancel their trip or their plans or anything because of me. It wasn't a serious injury, and it sounds like OP's friend wasn't that seriously injured, so it seems a little unnecessary to cancel her plans with her boyfriend, who really wanted to enjoy a weekend away with her, And I definitely agree with this comment, especially after some other comments mentioning that OP had actually cheated on her boyfriend with multiple other guys, and that could be a reason why he really needed this emotional reconnection, So, yep, you're the asshole, OP. Alright, I'm a little bit torn on this next story, so you guys will have to share your thoughts with me. User substantial_space680 asks, am I the asshole for getting annoyed at a girl who wouldn't share her machine in the gym? I've seen this asked on the sub a few times, but I still wanted to see what people thought of my specific case. I was at the gym today, doing my own thing as always, and finishing off my workout. I only had one more main workout on the lateral raise machine. I walked over and saw that a girl was already on it. No big deal, I thought. I'll just wait behind her and relax. I don't mind taking a break to scroll through Reddit anyways because I'm almost done anyways. As I'm scrolling through Reddit for about 10 minutes, I can't help but notice that the girl using the machine is kind of fiddling with the machine, doing maybe 3 to 5 reps, and then sitting there on her phone or just listening to music. To be honest, I know it's not my business whether or not she's actually being productive with her workout or not, but at the same time, 10 minutes has gone by and I want to finish up already. So I walk over to her and politely say to her, "Excuse me, sorry to bug, but do you have a lot more on this machine?" Something I've asked to a lot of people in my gym career. I can tell right away from the beginning that she seems standoffish because she doesn't even take the time to take out her AirPods before giving me a look as if to say go away. I have to repeat what I say again before she is willing to take her AirPods out to actually hear me / address me. After asking her again how many more sets she has, she responds that she doesn't know how many more sets and that she's just trying to work out. I then ask her if it's cool that I work in which she gives me a dirty look and says, "No, I just want to be able to work out." I respond, "Okay, but indefinitely?" And she says, "I'm just trying to work out." It seemed like she was getting defensive over me asking her at all, and I told her I'm not being rude by asking. This is a pretty normal thing to do. She responds with something to the effect of, "I know that it's normal, but I just don't want to share. I want to use it until I'm done." I was honestly fucking frustrated at this point because she had already been on the machine for a long time, and when I politely asked her, she's telling me that she doesn't know how many more she has, and simultaneously is telling me she doesn't want to share either. So how long am I going to wait then? She was also pretty rude and petty during this entire exchange while I was trying to be polite and respectful. I also thought that maybe she is new, but it seems like she wasn't if she knows what people asking to join her is the norm, but she just chooses not to do it. I ended up ending the conversation by saying, "Well, I don't know what's going on in your life to be acting like this, but I genuinely hope it gets better because you're acting rude. I know people aren't obligated to share if someone asks, but if you're going to fuck around with the machine for as long as you want with no timeline on when you'll be done, isn't that kind of a dick move? Am I the asshole?" Now, I have to say, I'm a very introverted person, so I can understand why this girl wasn't super happy about OP approaching her in the gym. I also hated when someone would ask me how many reps I had left or if they could take turns with me on a machine. I would honestly usually just be like, "Oh, no, you can have it," and just abandon the machine and leave. But at the same time, I know it's good gym etiquette to share the machines and to allow everyone to get their workouts done. The girl was responding in a really rude way and was not very nice. I don't know, maybe she thought OP was trying to hit on her and that's why she was rude. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I think OP's not the asshole in this one. There's a bit of nuance, I guess, and maybe missing information, but from our limited information, it sounds like OP's not the asshole in my opinion. Our next story is by user RatioLong5811, who asks, "Am I the asshole for calling a woman a psycho for leaving a Bluetooth tracker in my car after her first solo date? Oh my god, that's psychotic. What? I can already tell OP's not going to be not the asshole in this, but sure. Let's read the story and find out what actually happens. Maybe some context would be useful in this situation. Okay, so Opie says, my 42 wife passed away 2 years ago. We had been together since 1999. I was broken for a while and probably clinically depressed. I never sought treatment or anything, I was just not okay. I have recently decided that I am done being alone, so I asked my friends and family if they knew anyone I might be interested in getting to know. I have never used online dating, and I only had one girlfriend before I met my wife. I am not exactly an expert at how to date. My wife's friend said she knew a nice woman, and I agreed to go on a double date with them and her. I thought it went well, and I said I would like to see her again. We agreed to go for dinner and see Anastasia. I picked her up at her apartment, and once again I had a nice time. There weren't fireworks or anything, but I was comfortable with her, and she was physically attractive. I dropped her back at her home afterwards and went over to see my sister. She insisted I come over and talk after the date so she could guide me. She was best friends with my wife. We met through her, and she has become my protector since my wife died. Oh, we love to see good sibling relationships. So I'm having tea with my sister, and this car pulls into the driveway. It is the woman I was out on a date with. I asked her how she found me. I was kind of freaked out that she followed me. She said she had left an AirTag in my car so she could come over. My sister said that was creepy AF, and that if the sexes were reversed, the cops would be called. The woman tried to defend herself by saying that I already knew where she lived, so it wasn't that big a deal. I called her a psycho and asked her to please take the tracker out of my car or I would call the cops. Now I've been hearing for days from my friend's wife saying that I overreacted because I don't know what it's like out there for women dating in their 30s. She says I'm being an asshole for blowing it out of proportion, and that I should be flattered that this woman wanted to come into my home for whatever after 2 dates. I told her that I did not need any more help or advice from her, and I blocked her. Am I the asshole? That is psychotic. Oh my god. A comment from Rebecca McCullen hits the nail on the head. The sister is right. If Opie pulled a stunt like that, the woman would have called the cops. If the woman didn't want Opie to know where she lived, she could have taken multiple steps to protect that piece of information. And user My Darling Armadillo says, and stop calling it flattering. It's lunacy, stalking even. This is unhinged behavior. That said, the woman obviously has formed. The friend's wife didn't sound at all surprised. I wonder if the friend's wife also does it, so it seems normal to her. Opie might want to warn his friend that he's probably being tracked everywhere. Oh my god, I didn't even consider that. This is just such creepy behavior. Jeez. And one more comment from suspicious_sprite 5781 who says, not the asshole. As a woman, run. Run far and fast and don't look back. That's deceptive and controlling. It is rather impressive that she was able to stomp boundaries that weren't even established. If she wanted to come over, she could have asked, like an adult, like a sane adult. She doesn't get to make that unilateral decision by hiding a tracker on you. Your sister is right. Had you done that, the cops would be involved. Everyone would be rallying behind her, telling her what a stalker you are. Absolutely. Absolutely, all the commenters are right. Opie is not the asshole. This is such scary, creepy behavior. Bringing a tracker with you in your own purse or on your own phone when you're going on a date is just safety behavior. That's whatever. But putting it on another person is not okay. Yikes. Not the asshole, OP. Not the asshole.
Alrighty guys, we have one more story for today. This one comes from user Am I the Asshole throwaway 012020. They ask, am I the asshole for leaving my husband at home while I spend the week at my brother's because of how he quote-unquote buys groceries? I've been in a committed relationship with my husband for 17 years, and overall things have been great. We've had a few rough patches, but what's important to note is that while he earns more than me and is considered the main provider, I have a substantial trust fund that ensures we're financially stable. I work part-time as a teacher while attending university, earning less than him, and most of my income goes towards tuition. Our household income exceeds $200,000 annually, while the average in our area is below $50,000. Oh, good for them. One ongoing issue we have is my husband's frugality. He likes to control my spending and have the final say on how he uses his earnings. It's worth mentioning that I've never used any of his income and have no intention to do so. However, the main point of contention between us is his frequent visits to food banks. Despite having more than enough food at home, he insists on going to food banks to save money. Are you kidding me? Oh no, OP. He intentionally looks disheveled and uses our beat-up car to blend in even though he's never experienced food scarcity. I've explained to him the need for food donations in our community, even showing him social media posts from local food banks, but he remains indifferent. I suggested he volunteer or donate to gain first-hand experience, but he refuses. The unfortunate part is that since we're never short on food, most of what he brings home gets thrown away. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. Today I discovered a fridge filled with fresh produce and meat that clearly didn't come from our regular grocery store. When I confronted him, he admitted to going to a food bank after seeing a Facebook post about a donation of fresh food. People on social media were already asking if any was left, and there wasn't. I showed him these comments, but he brushed them off, claiming people should have gone earlier. Exhausted by the situation, I packed a bag and went to stay with my brother over the weekend, asking for space to think things over. My husband accuses me of overreacting, being vindictive, and threatens to go back to the food banks regardless of my feelings. His family is also messaging me, calling me an asshole, and urging me to stop interfering with his choices. I turned off my phone, and now they're bombarding my brother with messages. Thankfully, he supports my decision and ignores them. All I want is to enjoy the rest of my week without being angry at my husband. Yes, I could let this go and not scold him, but the food he takes could have gone to people who truly need it. I'm not leaving my husband, but I need a few days away to gain some clarity. Am I wrong for wanting this space? Ooh, wow. Guys, what can you even say about this? OP's husband is literally taking food away from those who need it. There's probably homeless people or people who've lost their jobs or people who just can't afford fresh, good food, and OP's husband just wants to steal this food from them. Why? Because he's selfish or a cheapskate? Like, why would he even do that? I personally don't think I could stomach eating food that I know was essentially taken away from someone who really needed it. Oh my goodness. A deleted user says, "Not the asshole, that's fucking gross of him." I wonder in which other ways he's an inconsiderate, selfish ass, because I do not believe this is the only example. I totally agree with this comment. Also, did you guys catch that OP said he controls her spending, but she has no say in his? Just, what a nasty man. User Rick I Might Be comments, "Not the asshole, he is an ass. Does he hate people who struggle with money? Because it seems like he just goes and gets the food so others can't. Does he believe that people don't deserve help when they need it? I don't see it as a mental health problem if his family is standing behind him on this issue. It just seems like they all just hate the less fortunate." And OP responded to this by simply saying, "I'm sorry to see that you've met my in-laws." I don't know, guys, this makes it clear to me that OP is not the asshole for this situation, but like, it boils my blood what her husband is doing. The way I see it, OP will be an asshole if she doesn't try to get him blacklisted from the food banks. What a terrible, terrible man.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If there are any other stories you'd like to hear, or if you'd like it if I included more comments or updates in these Reddit videos, then let me know. If you'd be interested in seeing any other style of video, anything like cooking or gameplay or whatever, then just drop a comment and I'll be sure to respond. Alright, well, hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye bye, friends!